Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. This is episode 334, as well as day 334 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame and to run two big races within this time frame. One of those races being a 50K ultra marathon trail race, the other race being a regular marathon. The 50K trail race was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race on June 5th, day 156 of my journey. I was able to finish that 31-mile race within 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. That was a personal record for me within 50Ks. First one ever, so personal record. The next race I came up with in this yearly time frame was the Detroit Free Press Marathon. That was on day 290 of my journey, and was able to run that race within 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 28 seconds. That was also a personal record for me. That race was my second marathon I ever ran, but my first ever official timed race marathon. The first marathon I ran was in 2020, and it was with my buddy Joe. We ran it together in Hines Park, and I ran that one at a very, very slow pace. I think I finished that marathon in 5 hours and 22 minutes, I believe. So this time I was able to shave off over an hour and 20 minutes. So I was really excited about that time. So that was a PR as well. And as you can tell, those were one, like I said, being on day 156, the other being on day 290, and we are currently on day 334. Not only was I able to run those races, but able to run them and then keep the run streak alive, following them up to today. So let's break down the mileage for the day today, day 334. Got out there and put in 7.1 miles for the day. That put me at 14.1 miles for the week, which put me at 215.9 miles for the month. So basically 216. I was right there on the cusp of 216 miles for the month. But that put me at 1,575.3 miles for the year. So we will focus real quickly on the yearly miles of 1575.3. Clearly, I'm 75.3 miles over the 1,500 mile yearly goal that I had set for myself. The new yearly goal, which I'm kind of aiming at for right now, is 1,750. So we are 175 out from hitting that goal. 1 month left, 31 days. Should be able to hopefully make that mark, make that target. We will see. But now we're going to talk about these monthly miles, 215.9 every single month. I challenge myself to run a 100-mile challenge. I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, as well as try to raise money for and awareness for throughout the coinciding month. So for the first 10 months, was able to raise money for 10 great charities and hit all 100-mile challenges. Now we're here within the 11th month, the month of November, raising money for yet another great charity. This month's charity is in honor of Movember. You could find out more about this month's charity as well as make your donations and help raise awareness for this charity at the Defining Discipline. You can find the link to do this at the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story or my personal page's Facebook story. Within those stories, all you do is you click on that link. It'll open up the page where, like I said, able to make your donations as well as help raise awareness by clicking that share button and learn a little bit more about this month's cause as well. Keep in mind, all donations that get made to this cause or any cause throughout these months, all money and donations go directly to the cause. Facebook is not taking or keeping any percentage or portion of your donations. So that is a cool thing to keep in mind. Other than that, let's kind of get ready to get into today's episode. But right before we do so, as always, let's get into today's word of the day for November 30th. Hoity-toity is today's word of the day. We're going to screenshot that because that's a good one. Hoity-toity means pretentious, fancy, or pompous. So that is today's word of the day, hoity-toity. Now let's get into today's actual episode, episode 334, day 334. It is the final day in the month of November, so you know what that means. It is the month in review. We're just going to kind of go over this previous past month, the miles, the weeks, the PRs, the different kind of runs we did, the traveling. Overall, it was just a great, fun month. One thing to talk about clearly is the miles. 300 and basically 316 miles for the month. It's truly insane to think of it like that. Because that's my new PR that I have set in the amount of miles per month. Previously, I set one earlier this year in July and was able to break 200 miles. I think I had 201 maybe, and that seemed crazy and impossible to even get there. And now we are sitting, like I said, at 215 miles within 30 days. Broke the 200 mile mark within 28 days. That was interesting as well. You know, in June was able to run the 201 miles in the 31 days, I believe that was in June. And I think I averaged, like right around maybe 45 miles, I think was the most I put in per week. And some of those weeks I didn't even put in 45, maybe I put in 40, and somehow I made up for it within the extra days I had to hit that over the 200 mile mark. This month I went all in, over 50 miles each week. Can't say each week. The second week and third week, I think I was at 49.50, so just under 50 miles. But the first week went hard at got a PR as well for miles per week. Just the first week alone, I put in 52.5 miles. That was the most I've ever put in 1 week as well. So overall, the month of November has been a great, strong month. Like I said, did a lot of running. I think I averaged, 7 miles per run, if I can do that correctly. I'm not even sure if that is right. Basically 7 miles per run is what I did. The amount of hours I put in, let's look at that for the month of November. I have put in 36 hours, 35 hours and 40 minutes, I believe, was the exact amount of hours. I apologize, gonna pull it up real quick. Don't have that offhand. 35 hours and 40 minutes was the amount of hours I put into this month. So this month was very interesting. A lot of night runs throughout this month. Beginning of the month, had a great long 18-miler, 17.5-mile run out in Potawatomi Trail. Ran that with my buddy Nick. Want to get back out there maybe in December. Try to get even better, faster time out there on the trail. that was the second time I ran that trail, and it kind of really took a lot out of me. But the first time took a lot out of me. The second time, not as much, but still want to do a lot better than what I had done. Another interesting note, started the month off, first run of the month, COVID positive. Was just recovering from having COVID. So that's an interesting fact as well. Just overall, the month has been an interesting, fun, crazy month, like I said. Did the Friendsgiving run where I ran over to buddy's house where we were having our Friendsgiving. That was a big run. So, did a couple bigger runs, over 10-mile runs. I think I did two 11-mile runs during this month. I did, like I said, the 17 and a half. Did a lot of 9-mile runs, a lot of 7-mile runs. One week, the third week, I just did all straight 7-mile runs to hit that 49 and a half. 7.2 and stuff like that. But they were all 7-milers for 7 days straight. So a 7x7 week here in the month of November. Wanted to add that as well to the interesting list of, trying to spice up the month of November to keep it going while trying to hit this crazy mileage of 50 miles for the first 4 weeks of the month. And then to have these last 2 days of the month to kind of just top it off of going over 200. And then, like I said, finish these last 2 days off with both 7-mile runs to put us right under the 216 miles for the month mark. Overall, month has been a great month. Always love November. Love Thanksgiving. Love the time. Love eating good food. Thanksgiving this month was great as well. So grateful for that, and grateful for the month in general, and for all the miles I've put in. Now, looking forward to next month. Trying to keep the mileage very close to what I have done this month. Maybe not as crazy, but still keep it up and try to finish off the year strong, and get everything together and focused to go into 2022 with a new frame and aim of where we're gonna take this podcast and just the social media accounts and all that. So looking forward to all that. Overall, this month, November, great month, huge month, lots of hours, lots of time. The month in general too, another interesting fact of it, it was just a wishy-washy month with weather. There were days I was out there in t-shirt and shorts. There was days I was out there and it was snowing with a blizzard. So there was days I was out there, it was raining. Had a little bit of every type of weather possible. Obviously didn't have super hot weather, but had warm enough weather to be out there in shorts and a t-shirt. So November did not disappoint with weather. Got almost all 4 seasons with that, pretty much all 4 seasons with it, and got the mileage that I was hoping for, or not hoping for, but aiming for. Got out of it healthy, happy, strong, and looking forward again to next month and pushing forward to next year. One thing that I've been doing this November, kind of sitting back, standing back, and trying to figure out what kind of races I want to run, what kind of races I'll be getting myself into next year. I do know I want to get into a few marathons and a couple, trail races, especially a 50-miler, but I'm just kind of holding back and waiting to kind of pull the trigger on a lot of the races I would like to run. But, kind of just trying to get all of that lined up and ready. Other than that, thank you guys so much for following along for your daily discipline today, episode 334. It is also to kind of just look back on your month, see how far you've came along within this month, within this year, see how close you have come how much closer you've came to reaching your goals or whatever it is you are aiming at. So that is your daily discipline today, is to kind of review this past month and see what you've been missing out on and where you could make those improvements and start working on making those improvements here coming up in the month of December. And keep in mind that when December 31st comes and it's the end of the month and we're closing that out, to do the same, kind of get ready to look into next year. You have the whole year to look back on. But right now we are here in November, and you still have almost a full year to look back on. Look at how far you've came, look at where you want to go, and look at what kind of steps you could be taking here in the next month to get to where you would like to be. That is your daily discipline for the day today. Other than that, thank you guys so much. If you guys can, give the podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been following along and listening on. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 335. Stay disciplined, get your daily discipline done, and until then, peace out.